The Coptic calendar, also called the Alexandrian calendar, is used by the Coptic Orthodox Church and still used in Egypt. This calendar is based on the ancient Egyptian calendar, to avoid the calendar creep of the latter. A reform of the ancient Egyptian calendar was introduced at the time of Ptolemy III, which consisted of the intercalation of a sixth epagomenal day every fourth year. However, this reform was opposed by the Egyptian priests, and the idea was not adopted until 25 BC, when the Roman Emperor Augustus formally reformed the calendar of Egypt, keeping it forever synchronized with the newly introduced Julian calendar, to distinguish it from the ancient Egyptian calendar, which remained in use by some astronomers until medieval times. This reformed calendar is known as the Coptic calendar. Its years and months coincide with those of the Ethiopian calendar but have different numbers and names. Coptic Year. The Coptic Year is the extension of the ancient Egyptian civil year, retaining its subdivision into the 3 seasons, 4 months each. The 3 seasons are commemorated by special prayers in the Coptic liturgy. This calendar is still in use all over Egypt by farmers to keep track of the various agricultural seasons. The Coptic calendar has 13 months, 12 of 30 days each, and one intercalary month at the end of the year of 5 days in length, except in leap years when the month has 6 days. The year starts on the 11th of September in the Julian calendar or on the 12th in the year before leap years. The Coptic leap year follows the same rules as the Julian calendar, so that the extra month always has 6 days in the year before a Julian leap year. The Feast of Nowruz marks the first day of the Coptic year. Ignorant of the Egyptian language for the most part, the Arabs confused the Egyptian New Year's celebrations, which the Egyptians called the Feast of Nowruz, with the Persian Feast of Nowruz. The misnomer remains today, and the celebrations of the Egyptian New Year on the first day of the month of Thou are known as the Nowruz. Its celebration falls on the first day of the month of Thou, the first month of the Egyptian year, which for 1901 to 2098 usually coincides with the 11th of September, except before a Gregorian leap year when it is the 12th of September. Coptic years are counted from 284, the year Diocletian became Roman emperor, whose reign was marked by tortures and mass executions of Christians, especially in Egypt. Hence, the Coptic year is identified by the abbreviation A.M. Note that A.M. abbreviation is also used for unrelated calendar eras which start at the putative creation of the world. It then stands for Anno Mundi. Every fourth Coptic year is a leap year without exception, as in the Julian calendar, so the above-mentioned New Year dates apply only between 1900 and 2099 inclusive in the Gregorian calendar. In the Julian calendar, the New Year is always the 29th of August, except before a Julian leap year when it is the 30th of August. Easter is reckoned by the Julian calendar in the Old Calendarist way. To obtain the Coptic year number, subtract from the Julian year number either 283 or 284. Date of Christmas. Coptic Christmas is observed on what the Julian calendar labels the 25th day of December, which is also the date of Christmas in Eastern Orthodox countries such as Russia. The 25th of December Nativity of Christ was attested very early by Hippolytus of Rome in his commentary on Daniel chapter 4 verse 23, the first coming of our Lord, that in the flesh, in which he was born at Bethlehem, took place 8 days before the calends of January, a Wednesday, in the 42nd year of the reign of Augustus, 5,500 years from Adam. Another early source is Theophilus, Bishop of Caesarea. We ought to celebrate the birthday of our Lord on what day soever the 25th of December shall happen. However, it was not until 367 that December 25 was begun to be universally accepted. Before that, the Eastern Church had kept January 6 as the Nativity under the name Epiphany. John Chrysostom, in a sermon preached in Antioch in 387, relates how the correct date of the Nativity was brought to the East 10 years earlier. Dionysius of Alexandria emphatically quoted mystical justifications for this very choice. The 25th of March was considered to be the anniversary of creation itself. It was the first day of the year in the medieval Julian calendar and the nominal vernal equinox. Considering that Christ was conceived on that date, the 25th of March was recognized as the Feast of the Annunciation, which had to be followed 9 months later by the celebration of the birth of Christ, Christmas, on the 25th of December. There may have been more practical considerations for choosing the 25th of December. The choice would help substitute a major Christian holiday for the popular pagan celebrations surrounding the winter solstice. The religious competition was fierce. In AD 274, Emperor Aurelian had declared a civil holiday on the 25th of December to celebrate the deity Sol Invictus. Finally, joyous festivals are needed at that time of year to fight the natural gloom of the season. Until the 16th century, the 25th of December coincided with 29 Coiac of the Coptic calendar. However, upon the introduction of the Gregorian calendar in 1582, the 25th of December shifted 10 days earlier in comparison with the Julian and Coptic calendars. Furthermore, the Gregorian calendar drops 3 leap days every 400 years to closely approximate the length of a solar year. As a result, the Coptic Christmas advances a day each time the Gregorian calendar drops a leap day. This is the reason why old calendarists presently celebrate Christmas on the 7th of January, 13 days after the new calendarists, who celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December. From AD 2100, the Coptic Christmas will be on the Gregorian date of the 8th of January, date of Easter. According to Christian tradition, Jesus died at the 9th hour of the first full day of Pesach, when the day fell on a Friday, and arose from the dead by the first hour of the next Sunday. The day of Pesach is always at the first full moon following the northern vernal equinox. At the First Ecumenical Council, held in AD 325 at Nicaea, it was decided to celebrate Easter on the Sunday following the so-called Paschal full moon. As for the Christian Church to differentiate itself from the Jewish counterparts, at the Council of Nicaea, it became one of the duties of the Patriarch of Alexandria to determine the dates of the Easter and to announce it to the other Christian churches. This duty fell on this officiate because of the erudition at Alexandria he could draw on. The rules to determine this are complex, but Easter is the first Sunday after a full moon occurring after the northern vernal equinox, which falls on or after the 21st of March, which was its nominal date at the time of the First Council of Nicaea. Shortly after Julius Caesar reformed the calendar, the northern vernal equinox was occurring on the nominal date of the 25th of March. This was abandoned shortly after Nicaea, but the reason for the observed discrepancy was all but ignored. Between the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church, there are different dates for holidays. In recent years there have been multiple attempts to unify these dates. Some people are skeptical about the success of these attempts. Eastern Orthodox use the Julian calendar while Catholics use the Gregorian calendar. Recently, Pope Tawadros, the Coptic Pope, and Pope Francis, the Catholic Pope, have agreed to the proposal to celebrate Easter on the same day. Pope Tawadros's proposal suggests to celebrate Easter on the second Sunday of April. Coptic months.